Some men walk into a room and women notice without a word. Others talk, try, push, and get ignored. You've seen it. You've felt it. There's a tension there, a paradox. The more you chase, the colder she gets. The more you show eagerness, the faster she loses interest. But this has nothing to do with charm, money, or even looks. It's about energy, mindset, sovereignty. There's a certain kind of man who doesn't pursue. He pulls, not through tricks, not through manipulation, through presence, through stillness, through the silent message. I don't need you to see me. I already see myself. That's what women feel, not what you say, but what you emanate. It's not game, it's gravity. This is not about becoming a performer. It's about becoming untouchable. The kind of man who doesn't orbit anyone, who isn't addicted to approval, who knows that chasing love is like running after your own shadow. It flees. But when you stop, when you stand still, it returns. So here's rule 1. Stop chasing. Let her chase you. Because the moment you chase, you say with your body, I am not enough. You signal lack. And women don't fall for lack. They fall for fullness, for silence, for the man who doesn't seek validation, but commands attention just by being. Imagine 2 men, both want her. One floods her with messages, praises her like a saint, and is always one ping away, available, predictable, eager. The other? He's present when they speak, but outside that, he vanishes into his own life. He doesn't orbit, he moves, he lives. Which one will she think about when the lights go out? Almost always, it's the man who doesn't give everything away. Why? Because attention that's cheap never feels valuable. We chase what we can't immediately grasp. We long for what makes us wait. It's not game, it's biology. Scarcity breeds desire. The first man puts her on a pedestal and kneels below it. That imbalance flips the switch off. Desire fades. He made himself common. And what is common, we overlook. The second man, he isn't playing hard to get. He is hard to get. Not because he's withholding, but because he's full, occupied, rooted in something deeper than her gaze. Stop flooding, match her rhythm, let the silence speak for you. If she takes hours to respond, do the same, not out of spite but sovereignty. Time is currency, attention is sacred. Don't give it away like it's nothing, make it count. Because when you treat your life like it matters, others feel it. You don't need to chase, you are the chase. When you're not around her, you're not obsessing, you're not refreshing your messages or bending your life into shapes she didn't ask for. Maybe you send one intentional message, and then you vanish into your workout, your mission, your world. And that silence starts to echo. She notices, you're not like the others, you don't orbit. And here's what happens next. Women lean into the space you leave behind. She starts to wonder, where are you? Why aren't you chasing? That tension, subtle and ancient, pulls her in. She texts first. She starts trying to impress you, because people value what they work for, especially what they earn. A woman who had to reach for your attention holds it tighter than the one who got it served on a plate. You gave her something to chase. That's not manipulation, that's magnetism. Like Machiavelli taught, the powerful don't chase. They draw people into their world on their own terms. So hold your position, stay rooted, let her effort mean something, be the prize, and let her earn proximity. Now, rule 2, keep an air of mystery. One of the biggest mistakes men make in early attraction is emotional overexposure. They unload their life story like a resume. Childhood trauma, career plans, every last dream on the table. But connection isn't built in a flood. It's built in tension, curiosity, space. On a first date, one man tries to win her with his biography, every detail, every scar. By the end of the night, she's not impressed. She's full. There's nothing left to explore. But the other man, he gives just enough. A spark, a glimpse, a story with a missing ending. And she goes home wanting more. He listens, he's present. But he doesn't turn the moment into a confessional. He's not there to impress. He's there to experience. And when the date ends, she's not overwhelmed. She's intrigued. She still has questions. That's what pulls her in, the mystery she wants to unravel. Machiavellian wisdom is simple. Never reveal everything too soon. In love, that means restraint, not secrecy, but pacing. You don't owe her your autobiography in chapter 1. Let her meet you like a novel, page by page, scene by scene. Give her room to wonder. If she asks about your past, be honest. But you don't need to empty every drawer. Give her one detail, let her ask for the rest. Your talents, your passions, your stories. Let them unfold like layers, not a flood. Every new thing she discovers about you should feel earned, not dumped. Mystery doesn't mean games. It means unpredictability grounded in presence. One week, you plan something spontaneous. The next, you take space to recalibrate. Let her feel your rhythm, not your need. You are not a broadcast. You're a presence, a man with depth, not noise. Today, everyone overshares. Screens are filled with constant updates, texts, reactions, emotional spills. But when you don't, you stand out. You become contrast, tension, curiosity. She'll start filling in the blanks, and most of the time, she'll fill them with fascination. Remember this, mystery is not hiding, it's control, it's respect for pacing, it's trusting that your presence is enough, that you don't need to throw everything forward to be seen. That's not silence, that's power. When you let her wonder, you create anticipation. She doesn't just look forward to your message, she feels it before it arrives. There's tension, curiosity, the thrill of discovery. That's the heartbeat of attraction. But the moment you explain everything, overshare everything, expose everything, you kill the story before it begins. Let her meet you in layers. Let the unknown work for you. Rule 3, master your emotions. There's nothing more unattractive than volatility, nothing more repelling than a man whose center can be shaken by a text delay or a playful tease. The moment you panic, react, lash out, you break the frame. And she feels it, not with her mind, but with her body. Her attraction collapses. Why? Because your lack of control speaks louder than your words. How many men have ruined something real by blowing up over silence? Or sending message after message, demanding validation, only to follow it with apologies and excuses? That spiral is what Machiavelli warned against. A leader who can't control himself is ruled by others. And in love, the man who can't contain himself becomes forgettable. Women, consciously or not, will test your core. She might respond late, cancel plans, say something that pokes your pride. Not because she's cruel, but because she wants to feel your spine, your steadiness, your root. The insecure man chases clarity. The grounded man remains the clarity. If she cancels, he pivots. If she teases, he smirks and plays back. His emotions are not hostage to someone else's timing. His power isn't shaken by temporary noise. He is sovereign, unbothered, whole. Mastering your emotions also means this: don't fall too fast. Infatuation is a drug. and most men overdose before the third date. You might like her, but don't crown her. Don't build a kingdom in your head before she's earned the throne. Let the connection breathe. Let desire rise organically. Coolness is not coldness. It's control. If you catch yourself obsessing after 2 encounters, pause. Redirect that energy to your routine, your mission, your body, your mind. Emotional discipline keeps you from burning out before the fire is real. And it shows her something powerful. You enjoy her, but you don't need her. When she senses you have your own gravity, she respects you. You're not chasing validation. You're centered, rooted, and when something throws you off, an unexpected silence, a teasing comment, a flicker of jealousy, you don't react. You respond. You take a breath. You wait. And when you speak, it's from composure, not chaos. That's when she feels it. Safety, strength, respect. You're not just another man ruled by impulse. You're different. You don't smother. You don't explode. You communicate with precision. You act with intention. You don't beg. You lead. And that leads us to Rule 4. Set boundaries. Command respect. Being kind is good. Being generous is noble. But if you let someone cross your lines without consequence, you broadcast weakness. A man with no boundaries is a man who doesn't value himself. And if you don't value yourself, she won't either. Attraction dies in the absence of self-respect. Machiavelli warned, a leader who can't command respect will lose his throne. And in dating, that truth is just as sharp. If you don't lead your kingdom, someone else will. A woman might tolerate a pushover for a moment when it gives her control or feeds her ego. But she'll never feel drawn to him. You've seen it. The man who lets her cancel plans last minute, flirt with others in front of him, throw insults dressed as jokes, and he just smiles, thinks it proves his loyalty, thinks it makes him strong. It doesn't. She might stay, but only to slowly dismantle him. Because when a man has no spine, she feels it. And over time, she despises it. The respect dies, the attraction dies, and eventually, so does the relationship. Or worse, she stays, but drags him beneath her heel. Now picture something else, a man who speaks, calmly, clearly, not reactive, but firm. If a line is crossed, he doesn't erupt. He realigns. He names the breach. He holds his frame. And suddenly she feels something deeper than agreement. She feels respect. That's the power of boundaries. They're not walls. They're declarations. You define what you accept. And when it's violated, you don't whine, you act. If she mocks you under the mask of humor, you don't laugh along. You look her in the eye and let her know that doesn't work for you. If she ghosts, flakes, or disrespects your time, you don't chase. You step back. And if it happens again, you walk. No threats, no drama, just distance. That silence speaks louder than any argument. And here's where most men fail. They set a boundary, but fold when tested. That collapse is worse than silence. It tells her, you don't mean what you say. And nothing kills respect faster than empty lines drawn in sand. Setting boundaries isn't domination. It's self-respect. You wouldn't keep a friend who lies to you. You wouldn't tolerate a coworker who steals from you. So why would you accept disrespect from someone you're inviting into your heart? Early on, she will test the edges of your strength, not to break you, but to feel the shape of your spine. She might show up late, not by accident, but to see what you'll do. She might ask for something unreasonable, not because she needs it, but to test the shape of your spine. And how you respond teaches her what you allow. If you laugh it off and say yes to everything just to keep her happy, You teach her that you'll bend under pressure. But if you hold your line, calmly, clearly, you show her something rare, self-respect. And whether she says it or not, she feels it. You become someone she can't manipulate, someone she might push against, but not push over. Yes, it might feel uncomfortable, risky, especially if you're attracted to her. But paradoxically, standing your ground is one of the most attractive things you can do. Because here's the truth. A woman can admire a man she disagrees with, but she cannot love a man she doesn't respect. By showing backbone, you might stir a little tension, but you build something stronger beneath it. Respect, admiration, depth. Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." In modern dating, that fear isn't terror, it's respect. It's the unspoken truth. If you treat me poorly, you lose me. So set your boundaries and hold them. She'll either rise to meet them or she'll leave. And both outcomes are better than living in quiet humiliation just to feel loved. Rule 5. Remain sovereign. Put purpose first. The sovereign man is not reactive. He doesn't orbit anyone. He's like a king, anchored, clear, aligned with his mission, and he does not trade that mission for attention. His goals don't shrink because of attraction. His values don't bend to stay liked. His direction doesn't change for romance. And that, more than charm, more than looks, is what draws her in. Yes, wanting to make her happy is natural, but derailing your life to orbit her desires, that's self-erasure. At first, she might enjoy the spotlight, but soon she'll feel it. He has nothing but me. And that's not flattering. It's suffocating. No one wants to be someone's entire purpose. It's not love. It's pressure. And pressure crushes attraction. Remaining sovereign means balance. You give her presence, attention, affection, but you don't abandon the man you were becoming before she arrived. If you paint, paint. If you train, train. If you're building a mission, protect it like your name. These aren't hobbies, they're lifelines. Invite her in where it makes sense. Let her cheer you on. Let her witness your wins. But never press pause on your calling just to keep her close. Because when she sees you honoring something greater than her, something internal, she respects you more. She sees a man with gravity. She knows your time is carved, not begged for. And that scarcity, real scarcity, makes it sacred. Living this way isn't cold, it's clarity. You're not emotionally starving, you're not codependent. You want her, you enjoy her, but you don't need her to feel alive. If she travels, you're fine. If plans change, you adapt. If it ends, yes, it stings, but it doesn't break you, because she never was your center, you were. Ironically, this makes you even more attractive. Why? Because she knows you're with her out of desire, not desperation. Machiavelli warned rulers, never rely solely on the favor of others. In love, the same truth applies. Your worth is not up for negotiation, and no woman should be holding it. Keep building your kingdom, brick by brick, through your work, your body, your mind, your mission. Because when a man invests in himself, he emanates something silent, but undeniable: confidence, security, purpose. A woman entering your world should feel it. She's not rescuing a man. She's meeting one who's already alive. That's what draws her. You're not looking to be saved. You're not latching onto her path. You're inviting her to walk beside you on yours. That's leadership. That's partnership. That's gravity. And the benefit isn't just personal. It's relational. When both of you have your own lives, The time you share becomes sacred. She doesn't carry the burden of your happiness. She joins the celebration of your fullness. And that shift changes everything. Because now, you're not smothering, you're not clinging, you're offering. And space, real, respectful space, breathes life into attraction. When you return to her, you bring stories, energy, presence. You return as a man who lives. This is what it means to remain sovereign. You hold your center. You never abandon the throne of your own life, not even for love. Especially not for love. You give deeply, but never from emptiness, never from need. You remain rooted, and that's the foundation of lasting desire. Not a performance, not a mask, but self-possession. You know who you are. You know where you're going. And she feels it without you saying a word. All 5 rules. They lead to one truth. Value yourself. You stop chasing because you know you're worthy. You keep mystery because you don't need to prove. You stay calm, draw lines, and walk tall. Not for attention, but for honor. You pursue your purpose not to impress anyone, but because it makes you feel alive. And when a man lives like that, something shifts. Women feel it. The world feels it. You're no longer a seeker. You're a signal. You don't need to be noticed. You are. When you internalize these 5 rules, everything changes. Your energy, your posture, the way you move through the world. You stop chasing. You stop explaining. You simply exist as a man who values himself. And that kind of presence doesn't beg, it draws. Think of the most magnetic men in history or film. They never plead, they never rush. They speak less and say more. They reveal themselves with rhythm. And above all, they walk with purpose. That's not a script. That's identity. You don't need to play a role, you just need to become someone worth watching. This isn't about manipulation. It's about transformation. It's about returning to yourself, letting go of desperation and stepping into quiet power. Because when you do that, women don't need to be convinced. They choose you. They lean into your gravity, not because you asked, but because you became. In the end, attraction isn't something you force. It's something you embody. It favors the man who leads himself, who walks with clarity, who doesn't need permission to be whole. Be that man, for yourself first. The rest will follow. Comment below. I am no longer chasing, I'm becoming. Let that be your shift, your declaration, your return. If this message sparked something in you, share it with another man who needs to hear it. Subscribe to Beyond the Shadow for more ruthless clarity and Machiavellian insight. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp.